right, we are live. I will give everyone a moment to hop on in. I just admired myself in the mirror, in the camera, while I wait for everyone to join, as one does. All right. All right. Good morning. Hello, hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning, Belinda. Hello. How's it going? Good morning, Linda. Hello. Hello. Hello, So Retro Bridal. Hello. Good morning. All right. Hey, Linda. Okay, I'm gonna give everyone like 30 more seconds and then I think we are ready to go. I'll make sure I have everything pulled up on my iPad here, ready to go. We're definitely gonna have a bit of a shorter live. We don't have as many plus size pieces launching this week. That's just part of the struggle with being at the end of season and kind of switching over seasons, is we've got kind of just the last little things left to launch that we have before we bring in all of the new stuff. And so we are, we've launched, you know, a lot of the plus size stuff, but we do still have some really cute stuff to try on. But yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of us are also like really shopped up after Black Friday. I know I definitely went a little bit wild. So I'm glad we still have some really cute stuff. We still have a ton of amazing jeans coming as well. I'm super excited about that. But anyways, we might as well get started. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle. I am the 3X model here at Lavender and Lives Boutique. So a little bit about me and my sizing is I am, like I said, I typically wear 3X both top and bottom. I am typically an 18W in Judy Blues. I used to be a 20W and I still occasionally go with a 20W, but for the most part I am a tried and true 18W at this point. I typically wear a 20 to 22 in other brands numerically, depending on the style and the fit and what the garment is. And then for height, I am 6'1". I'm very tall, so as you can see it with these jeans, things tend to look pretty short on me, but that is because I am very, very tall. I have like a 35, 36 inch inseam, so most jeans are a little short on me. So I do try to talk about length when it is appropriate. Hello, Reen. Happy Tuesday to you too. And with that, we might as well get started with the Tuesday drops, which today is December 10th. Just put that in my iPad. Perfect. And we might as well start with this really, really cute top that I'm wearing. This is the All I Want long sleeve peplum top in black. This one's gonna be retailing for $82, and this one is available in sizes small through 3X. This one is definitely like a true oversized fit, as we'd say. If you want it to be a little bit less oversized, you can definitely size down. I myself preferred the kind of like comfy oversized look, so I kept with my 3X. Melissa opts for the extra large in this one. I'm just gonna double check, does this have an extra? So this one has both an extra large and a 1X available, and Melissa opted for the extra large, the slightly smaller of the two fits. Which, given how oversized it is fitting, that does make sense for her. And then Christina and Carrie both opted for the small. I probably could size down to the 2X in this one if I wanted to, but like I said, I really like how loose and flowy and comfy it is. I think if I were to size down, I definitely would still have lots of room in the shoulders and the arms, and I think the length would still be good as well. But like I said, I just like how fun and drapey it is, especially in the sleeves for me at the 3X, and that little bit of extra length in the sleeves, so I stuck with my typical 3X. So this one's really fun because it's got that like heavier cotton t-shirt that we've seen in, like there was like those cowboy t-shirts that launched a couple weeks ago. That's definitely the same kind of fabric as the top of this sweater, and it's kind of like a super micro crop top, and then it's got this really cute this feels kind of like linen. I'm gonna double check the fabric on this actually, because it does feel like it's actually, so it's 100% cotton. Okay, so that makes sense. So it's like a jersey cotton on the top and then more like a linen cotton on the, well, I guess it wouldn't be a linen cotton because linen's a different fabric, but it's like that type of material on the bottom. And it's really cute because it even has like, it really is like, this is like a micro crop top because it's even like got its own finished stitching, and then this is just kind of sewn right over top, which is really, really cute. I think that's a really fun vibe, and it carries that way all the way through. I was worried when I first saw this on the rack that there would be too much fabric and that it would be like too overwhelming on my frame. But once I put it on, I actually loved it. And with a pair of like straight leg or slim or skinny jeans, I think that's definitely where this top is going to shine. With these jeans or even with leggings, I think that's definitely the way to like let the volume of the top do all the like big oomph and all the fun in the outfit, and then go a little more understated on the bottom. I had also paired this with a pair of heeled, not clogs, what's the word I'm trying to think of? I cannot think of the type of shoes I'm trying to think of right now, but I styled them with a really pair of like closed-toed with a little bit of a heel, and super cute. I loved that. Speaking of jeans and my height though, it's really funny. These jeans, when we were talking about how these are like ankle jeans on me, when Christine tried these jeans on, she actually had to like roll them up a little bit. I think that's really funny. It's amazing like how different human bodies can be. But yeah, just a really fun. Honestly, Linda, I would probably... It really depends. I could see it going either way for you, because like I said, I really enjoy the 3X, but if you don't want it to be quite as like oversized and like enveloping, I think you would be totally fine size-wise in the 1X. It's just kind of depending on what vibe you want to go for. If you want it to be a little bit more, not that it would be fitted either way because there's still going to be a lot of volume, but if you want it to be quite as like slouchy and cozy or a little bit less so. Yeah, so once again, this is the All I Want long sleeve peplum top in black. This one's gonna be retailing for $82. This one is 100% cotton, both top and bottom. Size is small to 3X, and that includes both an extra large and a 1X. We said it's true oversized fit. If you want it to be a little less oversized, you can size down. So Christine and Carrie are both in the small. Melissa opted for the extra large as opposed to the 1X. I am still in my 3X for length and because I like that oversized fit, but I could wear a 2X just fine if I wanted it to be a little bit less oversized. All right, let us move on to the jeans. I'll try to like tuck up this top as best as I can to show them off. But these are the Judy Blue high-rise tummy control step hem skinnies, aka the Beckhams. Beckham, I can never tell like how I'm supposed to say it. I wonder, oh yeah, I can totally. I would not personally style this top tied up in a knot like that, but just, actually I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I think there's just too much fabric. What can I do? I wish I could just like tuck it under. Maybe I'll do that. It might stay enough. That'll work for now, just so we can see the jeans. These are the Beckhams. These are going to be retailing for $93, and they are available in the full Judy size range. So we have them in 0 through 15, and then 14W through 24W. I'll double check, Linda. I'll have to look at the tag to see if it's hang dry. I mean, as a rule of thumb, whenever it's 100% cotton, unless it's like just like a Gildan t-shirt or something, like one of those like t-shirts you get at a craft store that like you get screen printed on, I always hang my cotton stuff just as a kind of like proactive type approach, but I will double check the tag to see if I can find the wash instructions, Linda, but I don't have it here in front of me. Hello, Brenda. Hello. Hello, Caroline. Good morning. I guess good afternoon for you, of course. Yeah, so again, these are available in the full 0 through 24W. I am wearing my typical 18W in these, and we all took our usual size. So Christine in the 3, Carrie's in the 9, Melissa's in the 14, and then I am in my 18, as is tradition. These definitely fit like a tried and true skinny jean. Like I've mentioned many times, I've always found that if I'm going to size down in a Judy Blue jean, it's always going to be in the skinny. There's just something about the way that they have a little bit of extra stretch and whatnot, and these are no exception. Even with these being tummy control, I find that the tummy control skinnies still just like, for whatever reason, I've always been able to get away with the smaller size even before I started sizing down to an 18 more frequently. And these fit really, really nice, like right off the rack. They're super, super comfy. As you can see, like I mentioned earlier, these are, I don't have the inseam information with me, but I'm gonna guess these are like a 28 at least on, because they have this little, they call it a step hem. I'm trying to like show it off as best I can. It's kind of hard with my tattoo because it kind of like there's ink right where it is, but there's kind of this little uneven hem on the side here, and it does this little like swoosh across the front. And then if I go to the inside of the ankle, you can see that it meets at the same level, but on the outside of the ankle here, there is that little bit of like a little bite out of it, that little bit of discrepancy. And because of that, it's definitely giving the illusion that it's even shorter on me. So I'd say like the true inseam from the back, where things are like the same length, is probably like a 28, 29, I would guess. maybe, yeah, I wouldn't say these are a 30. And again, keep in mind, I typically wear like a 35-ish inseams, so they're definitely gonna be a little bit short on me. But if you are petite, then there's a good chance you won't have to get these hemmed, which is nice, especially when there is so much detail on the hem itself. In terms of the rest of the jean, we have like a little bit of whiskering here on the thighs, but not a ton, and just a little bit of fading on the thighs. And then again, on the back, just a tiny, tiny little bit of fading in the wash on the booty, on the back of the thighs, but there's no physical distressing on these other than the raw hem that is on the bottom there. These are really unique jeans. I really like these. These would also be fantastic for showing off a really cool shoe because they do have that little bit of detail and then kind of leave it wide open as a canvas to show off a really cool shoe or a really fun boot or something like that. So again, these are the Judy Blue High Rise Tummy Control Step Hem Skinnies, aka the Beckhams. These are going to be retailing for $93 and they are available in the full Judy size range of 0 to 24W, and they are true to your Judy Blue size for these ones. All right, I have a t-shirt and a jacket that are going to be launching as part of this drop as well. So I will put those ones on and be right back. I was confused for a second because I forgot to put the filter on between what's doing the daily drop and what's the tonight drop. So I was like, we're launching lip balm as part of the daily drop, but no, I have the lip balm here for our 8 p.m. drop. So I will get to that after we wrap up what we're doing here. All right. I don't know why, but just when I changed just now, I got a bit of a chill. So this jacket is exactly what I need right now. I was warm while I was doing photos earlier, but just suddenly, maybe it's because there's nobody up here anymore, whereas before the three of us, being me, Carrie, and Christine, were all taking photos, and then Jace was here doing the actual photos. And so just from having people up here, I think it makes it warmer, and now that it's just me again, it's chilly. Yeah, so let's start with the jacket. This is the Venture jacket in black. We've had this one in a couple other colors launch in the last couple of weeks, and now we have it in black. This one's going to be retailing for $54, and this one's available in sizes small through 3X, and it is a 1X large for this one. We do say that this one is true to size. It is an oversized fit, but that is the intentional fit. But we still say true to size because that's how we all prefer to wear it. So Christine is in the small, Carrie takes the medium, Melissa is in the 1X, and I'm in the 3X for this one. And this one is a poly spandex blend. And the fabric does remind me a little bit of because I believe this is Hamish. I'm just gonna yes, this is Hamish. It reminds me of like Hamish's version of ampersand performance fleece. It's not exactly the same, but it has that same like really like brushed, cozy kind of feel, if that makes sense. And it is a little bit thicker, and it's not as stretchy. There is still stretch, but it's technically two-way stretch, but it's mostly this way, not as much this way. So it's not quite as stretchy as performance fleece, but it does have a bit of stretch, and it is a little bit thicker and feels very much like I'm wrapping myself in a blanket. Can I show the bottom of the jeans up close? You know what I'll do is I have the 20 on the rack here for the ones that I did not wear, and I'll see if I can like hold these up so that you can see better, because yeah, it's really hard for me to like, I could try to like, as best as, actually that wasn't bad. I don't have very good balance. There, that's on me. That's probably as best as we're gonna get, Reen. But I will hold up because I have the 20s here that were too big for me. So this is what they look like on Reen, is so like the back is completely like straight against, and then this is what they are calling the step. I forget, of course now I can't remember what they were called. The step. So it's got this little swoosh detail where you can see it's kind of notched up, and then it comes, by the time it's on the outer seam here, it's back even. So it's just this fun little swoopy detail. I really like that it shows just a little bit of like extra of my tattoos. I think that's really fun, but that's what it looks like. And great question, Reen. That's honestly, I don't always have the second pair because it kind of depends when we're picking my rack, and if it's a photo day, I'll usually have the 18 and 20 of every pair of jeans that I'm trying on just so I can know which one it is. But if it's like the week after where we're not doing photos, it's usually just the 18s because I've already like ordered the 20, whichever I fit in, because we already like figured that out last session. But good question, absolutely. Anyways, back to the Venture jacket. It is quite like generously sized. Like if I turn to the side here, we can see that it's a lot longer in the back, which I really love. And it has this kind of like swoopy detail here. And it also has a really nice, generous hood, if I pull it up. It's a nice big hood, which I love, especially in the winter, because sometimes if you're out walking and you have like a hat on, but it's just not enough, or you just have a headband and you just need a little something for your hair or the top of your head. I love having a wider hood, especially when it's wider down here, because I find when it's a big hood, but it's like close like this, then it does that thing like horses on carts where they have their blinders on so they can't see to the side, and I don't like that as a person. I like having my peripheral vision, so I like when it's a big hood but it stays wide like this so that you can still like see around it. It's functional and it's really, really cozy. It also has these little wood, like, I can't tell if they're supposed to be like wood or cork. It might be cork actually. But these are fully functioning buttons, and I can do this up very easily, and it still has, like, I think I have one of the product photos I might have wearing it done up. I can't remember, even though that was like an hour ago. But it's definitely like super comfy, cozy, and very like relaxed fit either way. It does also have pockets. Because of this being a more relaxed fit, the pockets are right on the side seams, so they feel kind of like far back. So I keep wanting to like put my hands here. There's no pockets, but there is. They're just right on the side seams. So they're a little bit further back than what I'm expecting, but they still are there, and they are a good size pocket for a jacket like this as well. And yeah, this one's just like really cozy and comfy. I'm thinking of grabbing this one because it would be like kind of very similar to what I do with my heavier cardigans for when it's really cold in the office. This is a perfect thing to just kind of like throw over your outfit. Or if you're just like crafting or reading or whatever it is, it's a great piece for that, to be just cozy. Again, this is the Venture jacket in black, $54 for this one, sizes small through 3X, and it is a more relaxed fit, but we all took our true size for this one. Okay. And then I will get to the t-shirt that I have underneath. We're going to be seeing this t-shirt for quite a while, just because the rest of the pieces that I have for the week are all either like layering pieces that need a base to layer over, or another pair of jeans until they get to, I'm not sure if those are Friday or Saturday. But yeah, so we're going to be seeing this t-shirt basically until the end of the live. So I hope we like her. I do. So get familiar. So this is the Say Yes. I never know if this is slub or sloob. I've always thought it's sloob, but it's probably slub. Slub short sleeve tee in bright. That's a tongue twister. Say Yes slub short sleeve tee. There we go. I did it. This one's going to be retailing for $39, and this one's available in sizes small through 3X. It is a 1X large as opposed to an extra large for this one, and this one is true to size, so everyone's in their typical sizes. Christine in the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa is in the 1X, and then I am in my usual 3X for this one. For the material on this one, it is a rayon spandex blend, and I'll get up close so that we can see the kind of the sloop detail on the fabric. It kind of from a distance looks heathered, but I think what makes it like sloob or whatever is that there's actually a bit of texture there. Like when I do this and run my finger in the direction of the fabric, I can actually feel like it's a little bit raised almost where those little lines are. It's very, very subtle, but it does just give a little bit of extra texture to the top, and it just elevates it from being like a completely like simple basic t-shirt to having a little bit extra. It also has these really interesting like very drop shouldered sleeves, and they're quite large and flowy, which is fun. It gives almost like a blousey vibe, but it still feels like a t-shirt. This would look really cute tucked into a pair of why can't I think of what they're called? The pants. We had a few, the palazzo pants, like where they've got the smocked waist and then are a little bit wider. I think these would be fantastic. It would create that really awesome hourglass shape because you'd have like the wider, flowier sleeves here. It would tuck in at the waist and then have like a flowy pant coming out. I think that would look super, super gorgeous. I also love this like coppery brick color. Perfect for fall and winter, I think, because it's just a little bit more saturated than like a burnt orange. That transitions it a little bit better from fall into winter as well, but it's also not like red. So this would be a good like Christmas adjacent, but also still good for the fall kind of color. If I turn to the side, we can see that it is a little bit higher up in the front, and then it drops down, and then it is a consistent length through the back. And it is a really nice length in the front even, and the back. So the back is definitely a little bit on the longer side, and then the front, even with it coming up a little bit higher, it's not cropped by any means. It's still a really nice t-shirt length. So again, this one is a tongue twister. The Say Yes Sleeve short sleeve tee in brick. I'm really impressed. I did that twice now. This one's gonna be retailing for $39, sizes small through 3X, and we all took our true sizes in this one. Okay, that is everything for the daily drop today. So we had the peplum top, which is absolutely stunning. I think that might be my favorite piece of the week, honestly. We have these jeans, the t-shirt, and then the venture jacket that I just had on. Those are the 4 pieces that are all going to be dropping today at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And now I also have, we have a small little F-Bomb launch that's going to be launching tonight. So I have both of those products here. And I say both just because they're, you know, like there's 2 products, and then we have a variety of different flavors and whatnot. And we also actually have a gift set, which I don't see these on the launch, so I wonder if these might be in-store only, or if they're going to get launched, or if they've already been launched. But we have a holiday gift set of the F-Bomb lip balms in candy cane, gingerbread, martinis after 8, which based on the greenish color, I mean, I guess it's like after 8 chocolate, but then also like maybe booze, that's great. And then spiked eggnog. So fun, like seasonal flavors, which are awesome. And then we're also gonna have the individual lip balms. So these are the F-Bomb moisturizing flavored lip balm. We have a bunch of different ones as well. I'll pull up on the iPad. And then we also have the F-Bomb Peat lip scrubs, which I'm actually really excited about because I have been using, from Lush, I've been using their lip scrubs for quite a long time, but I found that something about it lately, they're just not getting my lips as like polished as they used to, and it might just be because my lips have been more cracked and I have a habit of biting the inside of my lip. I've never understood, for years you always read in novels about how like she bit the inside of her lip as she worried about blah blah blah, and I'm like, who does that? That feels so unnatural. And then about a year ago I started, like, it's never been a habit. I've never had any like picking, biting, any of that. I've never been like a nail biter or anything like that, and I all of a sudden started like biting and chewing the inside of my lip like as a nervous habit. And I think my lips are definitely like a little bit more like dry and sensitive because of that. It's not like I'm chewing on my whole lip, like it's mostly on the inside, but it does affect like the rest of my lips. But anyway, so the Lush stuff is what I used for years, but I found it just hasn't been cutting it for me lately. So I'm really excited that we're getting these lip scrubs because I've been meaning to try a new one and I haven't found any that seem quite right. And I also love, because I go through so much now because of how dry my lips are, like this is a huge tub. Like this is like twice the size of the Lush ones. So I'm really excited about the lip scrubs. So let me just go through the list here. So we have the moisturizing flavored lip balms in 32 variants. That's incredible. Okay, so we do have, so it's under one listing on the website, but that includes like the gift sets are under there and then individuals as well. So all of the lip balms are there. So there's the All I Want for a Kissmas gift set, which is great. We've got, I'll just list the individual flavors. Birthday cake, which sold immediately. I love birthday cake anything. That's my favorite flavor, ice cream. I love birthday cake stuff. Blueberry scone, bluegrass slushy, bubblegum, candy cane, caramel apple, chocolate croissant, cotton candy, cranberry pear bellini. Ooh, that sounds good too. Dark rum and Coke. I should buy that for my mom. She loves rum and Coke. That's always been her drink, like her whole life that I've known anyways. Gingerbread, grape soda. Ooh, there's I haven't seen all of the flavors so far, so I'm just like excited for myself as I'm reading this for you folks. Grapefruit Paloma, hibiscus iced tea, lemon gelato, marshmallow martini, martinis after 8. That's that one that I think is like mint chocolate, perhaps, or at least minty. Plum daiquiri, raspberry macaron, root beer, s'mores, spiked eggnog, strawberry mint mojito, vanilla latte, watermelon margarita, bananas Foster. Okay, I love banana stuff too. That's really intriguing. Chai latte, cinnamon coffee cake, pina colada, pumpkin spice latte, and white peach sangria. Okay, that's fantastic. So it looks like there is just the one, the gift set that I showed off, and then the rest are all just the individual flavors. I'm gonna have a hard time choosing because there's like 5 different ones that I want, but that's kind of good. I'm one of those people that like, I have a purse lip balm, I have a car lip balm, I have a lip balm beside my bed, I have a lip balm beside my computer, I have one on the couch where I like to watch TV and read and stuff, and then I have one at work at my desk. Like I have lip balms everywhere, so that's probably not a bad thing because then I can just have a different flavor for all of my little places that I stash lip balms. And then, oh, I guess I forgot to say the retail price. So they are $8 each, and then that little gift pack with 4 of them is going to be retailing for $32, which I think that's 8 times 4 is 32. I think math is hard. I am actually good at math. It's just one of those like on the spot things. Like, oh no, do math in your head right now. Yes, and they are final sale, which it's a lip product. It goes on your mouth. That I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. And then the other option, like I said, is we have the F-Bomb Lip Scrub. This one's going to be retailing for $16, which again, considering how massive those jars are, I think is an incredible price point for those. And we have 4 flavors for those. So there's the Marshmallow Martini, Pina Colada, Raspberry Cream, and White Peach Sangria, which I'm really excited about. The one I grabbed was White Peach Sangria, and I'm like, ooh, that's something I would buy. Yeah, definitely can confirm I would probably be picking that one up for myself. So once again, the F-Bomb, all of the lip balms, again, there's like 30 flavors, it's insane. And then the lip scrubs, those are going to be launching tonight at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for those ones. All right, with that, we can move on to our Wednesday drops. And I think I only have one piece for Wednesday. Yes. All right, I will grab that one. It is a hoodie from POL. So this one is the size large, but as we know, if you've tuned into my lives, that POL is a very like free size type brand, and their clothing only comes small, medium, and large, but more often than not, we find that tops can work for a very large variety of sizes, even within that range. So this is the Accept Yourself Full Zip Hoodie in Mocha. This one is going to be retailing for $104, and again, it comes in sizes small, medium, and large, but it is definitely like very generously sized, and we recommend sizing it down. So Christine and Carrie both take the small, and then myself and Melissa both take the large, as is tradition for POL. And this one has a lot of cute details. I can zip this one up very easily too. It is very cropped on me. I think it is more of a crop style in general. It looks like it's cropped on Melissa as well. A little bit less so cropped on Carrie, but I mean, or sorry, on Christine, but I mean, there's almost like a foot of difference in height between us, so that's not super surprising. I had a hoodie very much like this. This, again, it's giving me like 2000s, like Y2K fashion vibes, because I had a hoodie very much like this, probably in like the early 2000s, and I remember it very fondly. And it's making me very nostalgic. So it also reminds me a lot of those like waffle knit 3/4 sleeve t-shirts that were really big in the early 2000s. Especially the very fine floral pattern, I think, is what's mostly doing it. So the main texture of the hoodie is not actually waffle knit. It is like a ribbed knit. It's a very fine ribbed knit, and it is super stretchy. But then this other detailing here we have on the pockets, and then we have it on the sleeves as well, and on the there's like a trim on the edge of the hood here. That all is waffle knit. There we go. I was gonna say waffle texture, but that's not, I mean it is, but that's not what it's called. Very cute. I love this one's definitely like very boho chic vibes too, especially with it being cropped. I feel like with a pair of like high-waisted flared jeans, it would be really cute. It does have these really nice like flowy sleeves that come down into a cuff, super long hoodie strings, which I think is a very like boho, like hippie kind of thing to do. These little front pockets, they're deceptive because they look like they're going to be small and the opening's a little bit small, but once you get in here, they're like, my whole hand's fit in here. Like there's more room than you'd think. And then we have a little bit of just gathering and stuff at the edge here. And then if I turn around, we can see it's got this really nice slouchy hood, kind of like how I mentioned earlier. This is a fairly lightweight hoodie though, so I probably wouldn't be wearing this one outside in the winter, but a nice big hood, and most of it is gathering here, so it's not blocking off my vision too bad. I'm not gonna like cross the street without looking by accident or something like that. Okay, so again, this is the Accept Yourself Full Zip Hoodie in Mocha. Small, medium, and large for this one from POL. Oversized, and you can size down. Carrie and Christine are both in the small, and myself and Melissa both wear the large for this one. And that was the only piece that worked for me for Wednesday's daily drop. And then if I go to the evening Dex launch, there is one top as well there that is going to come in the full Dex size range. So I will put that one on. And this one, it is like a very like open knit kind of top. So I'm going to keep the t-shirt on underneath just because otherwise we would be seeing more of me than we definitely would need to be seeing, and I would rather we not start off our Tuesday that way. Well, I guess it wouldn't be starting off our Tuesday, it's been a minute, but still, I don't think that's what we need to deal with today. So I am just going to tuck in the t-shirt quickly. Actually, I'm going to change jeans while I'm at it too, because on Thursday we have another pair of jeans launching. So if I'm undoing my jeans to tuck in my shirt, I might as well just pull them off and put on a whole new pair while we're here. Okay. I'm hoping this color looks okay with this top. I think it will. I had layered a different t-shirt under this when I did my photos, so I haven't worn these two together, but my preference for this top, if I were to style it myself, is I would definitely put a like black t-shirt bodysuit or even like a Ronnie or something under it, just to like get the gold to show off more. But I do think you could have fun with it and layer it over colored things as well and still get a really cool effect. So this is the Dex Cassiopeia Open Stitch Sweater Top in Metallic Bronze. This one is going to be retailing for $65, and this one is, like I said earlier, in the full Dex size range. So extra small to extra large for the standard sizes, and then X, 1X, and 2X for the plus sizes. So Christine, we all took our like typical size for Dex for these. So Christine is in the extra small, Carrie wears the medium, Melissa is in the X, and then of course I am in the 2X for Dex. And this one is a viscose blend for me for the material. So I'll get up close so we can see like why, like it is a very open knit. I'll kind of get my hand under here so you can see like very see-through, like you can see my fingers and stuff. So this one is definitely one that you're going to want to layer something underneath, whether it be a tank top or a t-shirt. Again, something like a Second Skin bodysuit, or even a Ronnie if you wanted to show like a little bit of skin, it would be super, super cute. But especially with a nude bra, I tried it and was like, ooh, I look very naked with this. This is probably not the strong choice, but it is really, really pretty. I do think this is very holiday party, but because it's not like a super glitzy, sparkly silver or gold, it is a little bit more of like the toned down coppery brass color. I do think you could get more mileage out of this top as just like a nice dress up top in general, not necessarily just being exclusively for like holiday parties and functions and things like that. I think you could get a lot of mileage out of this one to wear to like nice dress up events, even in like the spring and the fall for this one. Grace and lace, long sleeve lace tops would look good. Yeah, that would be really pretty too, actually, Reem. That's a good point. I don't have any of those to try on. I have tried on the lace tops, like the super stretchy ones, and I can get away with the extra large, but they're a little bit like, not super restrictive in the arms, but I think that just like the way the lace feels would probably scratch my underarms and I'd probably get irritated after a while. But yeah, super cute. I like that it is, at least on me, it is, I would say it's a fairly standard t-shirt length, maybe leaning just a little bit on the cropped side. And I would probably lean into that probably and pair it with a high-waisted piece. These are more of a mid-rise jean, but if they're high, I would probably wear them and I would kind of do like the front tuck just to kind of like emphasize that croppedness. And then if I turn around, we can see that it's a pretty similar, it's maybe slightly longer in the back, but for the most part, it's a pretty similar length front and back. And then that same open knit kind of vibe continues the whole way around the garment for this one. So again, this is the Cassiopeia. I can never remember if it's Cassiopeia or Cassiopeia. I think it's Cassiopeia. I used to like constellations and stuff when I was a kid, but I remember none of it. The open stitch sweater top in metallic bronze, $65 for this one. And again, it's available in the full deck size range of extra small through 2X, and that includes both an extra large X and a 1X. Okay, so that is again the only piece from the Dex drop that is happening Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That works for Plus. Okay, moving on to Thursday. 12/12. That would be the jeans that I'm currently wearing. I'm gonna go take off the Dex top, and then that way I can show off the jeans a little bit better because I have the t-shirt just tucked in, so it'll be really easy to see everything on the jeans. Okay, so these are jean blues, of course. These are the dark mid-rise thermal skinnies, aka the Jacksons. I don't know what thermal means. I think I remember the last time we had a pair of like thermal jeans, I had mused about this, and I still don't have an answer for that, so I'm not sure what makes them the thermal skinnies, because if it's that just that they're like a thicker denim, I could maybe see that, because they do feel like they have maybe a little bit more thickness, but they're still really stretchy. Like they still feel like a Judy denim, but maybe just a tiny bit thicker, but I don't know if that's actually the case or not. Oh yeah, it says that it has a thermal lining to keep you cozy. So that is exactly what it is. It has a little bit of a thicker lining to be a little bit warmer. That makes sense. Okay, question answered. So these are going to be retailing for $99, and they are available in the full Judy size range of 0 through 15, and then 14W through 24W. And I am wearing my regular 18W for these ones. True to Judy blue size for everyone else as well. So Christine in the 3, Carrie in the 9, Melissa's in the 14, and I am in my usual 18 for these ones. I think with these ones being the thermal skinnies, Judy wanted to really just kind of make these an all like a go-to classic wardrobe staple kind of jeans. So there's not anything that really sets these out too much in terms of styling. We do have the little bit of whiskering, and it's very defined whiskering. It's not as like with the fading, like it's very stripy, if that makes sense. So there's whiskering on the front pocket areas here, and then on the back pockets, we can kind of see, I'm trying to pop my booty a little bit so we can see that we've got kind of that Western style threadwork detailing on the back pocket. But other than that, there is no physical distressing. There's not a lot of wear with the wash or anything like that. Again, just that little bit of whiskering, and then the thread details on the back pockets. In terms of length, again, I don't have the actual length measurements for these ones. I'm going to guess these are probably like a 29 to 30. They're a little bit short on me, but they are longer than the other pair that I had tried on at the start of my live. And then something I find with these ones is that for whatever reason, I feel like these have a little bit more room kind of in the calf area compared to other Judy skinnies. I'm assuming that's probably because of the way the thermal lining works. It makes so the fabric doesn't kind of like stretch back on itself quite as much. So I do find that compared to other Judy skinnies, I have a little bit, even in the 18, I have a little bit more room kind of in the back of the thigh, and then get back into my calves. So if you are someone who has larger calves or like thicker thighs, these are going to be a great option for you. And it also makes me happy because I was worried with the thermal lining and like the thickness that they might be a little bit more constrictive and that you need to size up, but that's not the case with these ones. It doesn't affect the fit because of the way that they are cut. How is the mid-rise? I prefer like a mid-high rise because of where my natural waist sits. I find that like mid-rise is almost a little bit too low, but high-rise is often too high. And so these are described as a mid-rise, but they're not like, when I think mid-rise, I think like maybe another like ½ inch to an inch lower than this. So they're really not too bad. They are lower than a high-rise, but they're more like a mid-high rise, especially compared to other brands. Like I've tried on like a Risen mid-rise, and those felt a lot more mid-rise than this, if that makes sense. So like I personally don't find I'm having any issues with feeling like my underwear is going to be like poking out or things aren't tucking in where I want them to or anything like that, I'm still very comfortable in the mid-rise, if that helps. Of course, depending on how your body is shaped and where your natural waist is and what your hip to waist ratio and stuff, that's definitely going to change for you. But with myself, I think it's because I have a pretty like straight cut. My hip to waist ratio is pretty small. That's why I don't find as much of a difference between like a mid-rise and a high-rise compared to someone who has more of a dramatic like hip to waist ratio. Yeah, so again, these are the Jacksons, or in other words, the Judy Blue Dark Mid-Rise Thermal Skinnies. These ones, again, are available in the full Judy size range of 0 through 24, and we all took our typical Judy sizes for these. Okay, that was everything for me on the Thursday daily drop. Thursday evening, we have a Bloom launch. I do not have all of those pieces, so they will be getting a dedicated live or will be added to one of the other lives this week. And so we can move on to Friday, which I do have one piece. I have a top, I believe it's POL as well. Comes small, medium, large, but definitely worked for me. I'll pop that one on and be back. Yeah, this one is POL as well. This one reminds me a lot of the first round of the Ampersand floral bomber jackets. And this also reminds me of like an old school like 60s, 70s couch. I'm pretty sure that my cousins had a couch in their basement growing up that had this like exact kind of pattern on it. And even like the fabric itself, like it's not just a print. Like if I get up close, you can see that it is that same like knit kind of embroidery that is very much giving like upholstery fabric, which I absolutely adore. This is so like it's campy, it's really eclectic. I think it's super fun. So this is the Hey Angel floral button-down shirt in chocolate and black. This one's going to be retailing for $89, and with it being POL, of course, it's available sizes small, medium, and large, but we find it is very generously cut, so you can size down. So with this one, Christine and Carrie both wear the small, and Melissa and myself are both wearing the large, and this one is a cotton poly blend. I'm going to guess that most of the cotton is going to be in the black waffle knit areas, and then with this feeling very much like an upholstery fabric, I'm going to guess that most of the poly is in the actual floral knit, but super cute. It is described as a shirt, and it is definitely, it's interesting because the fabric gives bomber jacket, but the cut and the style of the buttons definitely gives shirt. There are buttons, just because I'm not very dexterous with doing buttons up myself, I'm not going to do them up, but just to show off, I can button this up fully, and there's still room in the shoulders and whatnot. This isn't going to be like pulling the buttons apart, but personally, if I were to style this, I would definitely wear it open like this. We do have these two big pockets on the chest. They are functioning pockets, and they have this really nice waffle knit. And then the sleeves are also made of that same waffle knit. When I have everything settled in, the sleeves are maybe a tiny bit on the short side, especially if I stretch my arms out. You can see that my wrists are showing off, but I would probably just pull the sleeves up on this anyways, and there is enough like elasticity in the cuff that they stay up for me without sliding down too much. This one did just slide down a bit after I said that, but if I pulled it up all the way, yeah, we're good there. And then it does have this collar as well. So yeah, very much structured like a button-down shirt, but just because of the thickness and the it's not stiff, but it just doesn't have as much movement because it is that like very much reminds me of upholstery fabric. It's almost like the structure of it gives me more like bomber jacket. So it's a really fun layering piece for sure. All right, so again, this is the Hey Angel floral button-down shirt in chocolate and black. $89 for this one, small, medium, and large. You can definitely size down with this one. So Christine and Carrie are both in the small, and Melissa and myself both wear the large. Okay, so that's all I had for the Friday. I'm just double checking the PM as well. Yes, we have an RV style kind of sweat set launching, but that is only at small to extra large. And then on Saturday, the 14th, we have some of the luxe corded essentials coming out. So we have a navy jogger set well, it's got the joggers and the crew neck, and then we also have a pair of the joggers in wash black as well. So I'll put on the matching set, and then I'll just hold up the bottoms to show off as well. And we'll finally say goodbye to this t-shirt that's been with us since like the start of the live pretty much. Okay, so these are from the Moon River brand, which is the same brand that has done our ready-to-wear corded sweatshirts in the gorgeous ombre colors that we've all been loving this year. Same fabric, same super comfy cozy. So I'm wearing the navy set, and then I am going to bring over the washed black to show off as well. And the washed black is only in the joggers. So these are the go-to corded straight leg joggers. And again, we have the navy that I'm wearing, and then this is the washed black. The pants are going to be retailing for $82, and they're available in sizes small through 2X. We do find that the 2X in Moon River though is quite generous, and I've been able to wear the 2Xs in both the tops and the bottoms, no problems. So with these, we do say that they are true to size, but like I said, there is definitely wiggle room within the bottoms so that, and the tops, that I can get away with the 2Xs, no problem. So Christine wears the small, Carrie wears the medium, Melissa wears the extra large, and then I wear the 2X. So, and also to know what this is, that there's no like 1X, it's extra large and then 2X. But again, I feel very comfortably. I would say it's a closer call on the pants. The 2X does still fit me really nicely, but I do find that it's less generous. Like these like fit like true to size, I would say. Definitely not oversized on me. I mean, in the leg it is, but in the waist and stuff where the limiting measurements would be, I don't think I would be able to size down further by any means. And if there was a 3X, it might be a little bit more comfortable in the waistband. Not that these aren't comfortable and I still have a lot of stretch, but I might just have a little bit more freedom kind of in this area around my stomach here. But then for the tops, the 2X is perfect. If there was a 3X, I would honestly probably size down, because I do find that the 2X in the sweatshirts gives me that same comfy, cozy, kind of relaxed fit without being too generous and oversized, if that makes sense. So again, these are the go-to corded straight leg joggers in navy. These ones are going to be retailing for $82, and these are both 100% cotton, by the way. And then we also have the Essential Luxe corded crew in navy, which is the matching top. This one's also going to be retailing for $82, so $82 for all of the pieces in these sets. Again, sizes small through 2X, so small, medium, large, extra large, and 2X, so everyone wore their true size, but I find that in this brand, kind of like that Mito Shop brand, I can wear the 2X almost like it is a true 3X, no problem. All right, so again, these are going to be launching on Saturday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I really wish we had a like black sweatshirt to go with it to have the black set, but unfortunately it is just the navy set and then the black pants. But if you wanted to wear the pants with and then have room to style it, I mean, they're the perfect color to wear. Or if you even wanted something cozy on top and then just like a t-shirt on top, they're going to be perfect for that, which is cute. Okay, so that is everything for me. A little bit of a lighter live, but that is just kind of how it is at the end of the year. Plus, we're also probably, our wallets are probably telling us to stop. I know mine is. So with that, thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Michelle. I am the 3X model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Facebook and on Instagram to try on all of the plus size stuff that is launching at LLB for the week. So if that's something that you want to check out, or if you just want to hear me blab on for an hour, which I do very frequently, that is where you can find me, is both on Facebook and Instagram. So I will see everyone next week.